with a question. Who really controls the future of artificial intelligence? You might think it's the big tech companies, the Googles, Microsofts, and Metas of the world. But there's a new player emerging, and it's not a single company, it's a movement. A global push for decentralized AI, artificial intelligence that isn't owned, controlled, or dictated by any single corporation or government. Sounds good, right? But here's the thing. Decentralization might not just change the game. It might completely rewrite the rulebook and the consequences. Well, they might be far more disruptive than anyone realizes. Today, we're going to explore the hidden war between centralized and decentralized AI. We'll talk about the players, the stakes, and the future that could be just around the corner. Now, to understand why this battle matters, we need to go back to the beginning, when AI is still a niche research topic. In the early days, AI development was academic, slow, and open to the public. Researchers shared code, published papers, and collaborated openly. It wasn't about competition, it was about pushing the limits of what was possible. But then, something changed. Big tech saw the potential. The same companies that had already centralized search engines, social media, and cloud computing realized that AI wasn't just another tool, it was the tool, the key to dominating the next era of technology. So they did what big companies always do. They locked it down. They built massive AI models behind closed doors, controlled access, and turned these systems into products you had to pay for. Every query, every interaction, every use case flowing through their servers. On their terms, that's centralized AI. It's powerful, it's efficient, but it's also dangerous, because when a handful of companies control the most advanced, intelligent systems in the world, they also control who can use them, and for what. Now, let's jump to today. While big tech is busy building their walled gardens, a completely different movement is taking shape. Around the world, independent developers, open source communities, and even small startups are working on decentralized AI. The idea is simple. Instead of running AI on the servers of a tech giant, you run it locally, on your own machine, on a distributed network of computers. No single company has the keys. No single government can pull the plug. In theory, decentralized AI is more democratic. It's more transparent. It gives power back to individuals and communities. But here's the catch. It also removes the gatekeepers, which means the same freedom that allows innovation also allows chaos. Think about it. In centralized AI, if someone tries to use the technology for something dangerous, the company can intervene. In decentralized AI, there's no central authority, no off switch. If someone builds a harmful model and shares it, it's out there forever. And that's where the war begins. Big tech argues that decentralization is unsafe. They say it opens the door to misinformation, cyber attacks, and even autonomous weapons. They claim that without regulation and control, AI could spiral out of control. On the other hand, decentralization advocates argue that big tech's safety narrative is just a cover. They say it's about keeping control, making sure only the richest, most powerful players get to decide what AI can and can't do. And here's the twist. Both sides are right. Decentralized AI is riskier. It can be used for harmful purposes, but centralization is a form of power consolidation. It does put the future of AI in the hands of a few corporations. This isn't a simple good versus sizable story. It's a clash of values. We've seen this battle before in the early days of the internet. Remember when it was an open, chaotic space where anyone could build a website, share files, or create communities? Over time, it got centralized. Platforms took over. Now, most of the internet runs through a handful of companies. AI is following the same path, unless decentralization wins. Let's talk about the real-world players in this fight. On the centralized side, you've got the big three. OpenAI backed by Microsoft, Google DeepMind, and Anthropic. They've got billion-dollar budgets, elite research teams, and access to massive amounts of computing power. On the decentralized side, you've got movements like Hugging Face, Stability AI, and a growing network of open-source projects like Mistral, Llama-based models, and decentralized compute platforms. They don't have the same resources, but they have something just as powerful: a global community of contributors. These communities are building tools that anyone can download, modify, and run. And they're doing it fast, sometimes faster than the centralized players. Here's an example: Stable Diffusion. An open-source image generation model came out of nowhere and completely disrupted the AI art space. Within months, it had been modified, improved, and customized in ways the original creators couldn't have predicted. That's the power of decentralization. But there's a darker side, too. Some of these open models have been used to generate deepfakes, spread propaganda, and even automate cyber attacks. And this is where the tension becomes explosive. Governments are starting to take notice. The EU is drafting strict AI laws. The US is discussing licensing requirements for advanced AI models. And China. Well, China is building its own centralized systems under tight state control. If regulation gets too strict, it could crush the decentralized movement before it fully matures. If regulation is too loose, we could see dangerous misuse on a massive scale. So, what's the future? One possibility is a hybrid system where AI is partially decentralized but still has some oversight. Another possibility is a full split where centralized and decentralized AI evolve separately, like two competing species. And then there's the wild card. What happens if decentralized AI becomes more powerful than centralized AI? Imagine a global network of connected self-learning systems that aren't owned by anyone, but are everywhere. Would that be liberation, or would it be the moment we lose control entirely? The truth is, nobody knows. But one thing's for sure: the battle between centralized and decentralized AI will shape the next decade of technology, and the choices we make now will decide whether AI becomes the tool of the people or the ultimate weapon of the few. So, when you hear about new AI breakthroughs, ask yourself, who's building it? Who controls it? And most importantly, who gets to decide how it's used? Because the future isn't just about what AI can do. It's about who AI works for, and that's the war no one saw coming.